Just 41 minutes ago, a crypto whale deposited $3 million into HyperLiquid and just opened Bitcoin short position with 40x leverage. The position right now is worth $31 million. But what's going on behind the scenes with Bitcoin and Ethereum? Can we start pumping to the upside and liquidate this whale? Or is this whale actually has some insider information and we are about to start crashing to the downside? Let's analyze. Hello ladies and gentlemen of Paradise Club, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise. Let's analyze Bitcoin and in this video also Ethereum, and let's jump into accumulated crypto funding craze that you can monitor with me on our website mycryptoparadise.com. And as you can see, not only on the major exchanges, not only on Bitcoin, not only on Ethereum, but pretty much overall in the market, the crypto funding craze are turning quite positive. Alright, what does it mean? It means that more long positions are being accumulating than short positions, and this is pretty much a warning sign, because this is usually what triggers a price reversal to the downside. So big bearish points, alright, right here from the accumulated funding craze. If we take a look at Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we can take a look at some clusters. So what do we see above us is a big cluster right here at around $112,000, $112 to $113,000, a big cluster right here. There's also a little bit of liquidation levels up to $115,000, but I will explain to you in this video why that would be very difficult for Bitcoin to hit. But 112, 113, that's pretty much possible. With higher probability, we can get this squeeze before a potential price reversal. What also suggests that we might go first higher before we can go lower is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index that you can monitor as well on our website mycryptoparadise.com. We are analyzing it from multiple social media platforms, and on the medium time frame right now, you can see that we are still have some time to go to point 80. You know, from these videos, 80 and 20 magical numbers. 20 if it's confluences with a support, it works as a bottoming signal. 80 if it's confluences with some nice resistance, it usually works as a top-in signal. On 15 minutes time frame, we still have time to go more to the upside. On a 1 hour time frame, as you can see, there is also a space until we hit that point 80 that worked beautifully, for example right here in October 21. And also on 4 hour time frame, we still have room to go. So this all suggests that we might really start liquidating the liquidation levels that are above us. That means short positions should be right now, if they are trading on lower time frame, very careful. Let's take a look right now what's going on Ethereum USDT chart, alright, on daily time frame. So let's analyze what happened since April 2025, because I do believe that we have concluded a 5 moves to the upside, which is from an Elliott wave perspective, a finishment of an impulse, right? And we are about to have a zigzag correction to the downside. So I'm looking for this classic impulse and then corrective mode wave to the downside. And from the macro time frame perspective, I do believe that this is going to be macro first and secondary wave. As you know, the smaller is basically within the larger. So this larger pattern is also in this one smaller wave 1 pattern, right? So the first wave is a motive mode wave. That means it subdivides itself also in 5 smaller waves. So basically this whole structure, and I do believe that we have concluded this on the higher time frame perspective, and we are about to start ABC down. Where it's gonna go, let's analyze. So right here, let me show you what I mean by that impulse to be finished. Here we have created a first wave, secondary wave, then an extended third wave. As you know, the third wave is also a motive mode wave, right? Third wave, motive mode wave. That means it subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves as well. If it's extended, it's pretty much very easy to see. So as you can see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I do believe the third wave was finished. Then we have created a higher degree fourth wave, and the fifth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is also a motive mode wave and finished right here. After that, I do believe that we have started a correction to the downside, and right now we are starting the B wave. The B wave is a corrective mode wave, and right now is taking a form of a triangle. As you can see, A wave is a motive mode wave. We have concluded that, we have confirmed that. B wave is a corrective mode wave, and I do believe that and it's a triangle, contracting triangle, and it's actually happening on Bitcoin as well. We will be talking about it. And the zigzag can be an upward correction or a downward correction. Right here on this picture you see an upward correction, but the same rules are for the downward corrections as well. So what's incoming? If we will be able to successfully form the B wave, which I do believe is forming inside of a contracting triangle, we will start a C wave, which is a motive mode wave that will take us towards, on Ethereum, towards $2,600. It's pretty much possible. It's pretty much possible. It's nicely confluencing with the deep correction that the secondary waves usually have. All right. So from the macro perspective, this was the first wave, then a secondary wave, and then we will continue a third wave higher. All right. So from the deep correction perspective, all right, that is one of the Elliott wave rules. The secondary wave is a deep correction. That means it needs to retrace at least 50% of the first wave, right? And if we place a Fibonacci retracement tool, you can see that pretty much we will be retesting 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level that is sitting nicely at $2,600, all right? And it is usually the level that is being hit during secondary waves on Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's pretty much unique for Bitcoin and Ethereum. A little bit different, it's on gold, a little bit different on major stocks, but on Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's usually the secondary waves on lower and higher degree as well is finishing at 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. And here we have pretty much a lot of confluences. We have the structure, previous resistance and support area right here, a big point of control from VPVR as well, as you can see right here. So very important level, lots of liquidity is sitting right here. So henceforth, it's really suggesting that it will be a perfect point for the end of the C wave of our ABC zigzag if we are able to conclude this contracting triangle. So let's have a look at the contracting triangle. As you know, contracting triangles are subdividing itself into 5 small waves, right? A, B, C, D, E. And after E, if it's gonna hold below the descending trend line, the continuation of the trend is gonna happen, all right? In this case, it's going to be a continuation of the trend, downward trend, all right? Bearish trend. So let's calculate the subwaves right here. First, A, B, C, D. I do believe we will have one more. And if this descending trend line will hold, which is confluencing nicely with this moving average orange trend line, all right, it will result in a breakout to the downside. Why these levels are important, this one and this one? Well, you know already about this one, but let me explain to you the 1.272. I've taken this one from analyzing the third wave, all right? So this point and this point, that was a third wave of our ABC formation. And right now, if you also take a look at the measurement of the highest point in that highest width of that triangle, we can pretty much measure the target of the triangle breakout. We will place it to the probable breakout point. It really depends on how fast it's gonna go, but I believe that we might start breaking in around 27th of October, which is in few days, but it might be a little bit longer. Well, you can actually see that the target of that breakout kinda nicely confluences with that 1.272 Fibonacci retracement level. What does it mean? We can assume pretty much that this level at around $3,000 will be beautiful for the third wave, which is basically from our impulse. The C wave is a motive mode wave. That means it will subdivide itself into 5 smaller waves, right? So I do believe breakout from the triangle, the first target, major target, will be this one at around $3,000. Then we will have a little bit of a recovery and we will finish at around $2,600. Ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm not looking for some bullish trading signals from the swing trading perspective on Ethereum with ParadiseFamilyVIPs, where we are sharing with you, with the Paradise team, our personal trade setups with a clear entry and exit targets that are given with a professional trading strategy. We are actively looking for short positions because they are coming with a higher probability and we are just waiting for a beautiful risk to reward trade setup. What is a risk to reward trade setup? It's a trading setup where you can place your stop loss as tight as possible and your exit targets as wide as possible. And this is extremely important if you want to be long-term profitable in the market, because when you are wrong on your idea, you lose as little as possible, and when you are right, you maximize your profitability, right? So risk to reward is one thing. Then you also need to know when to be aggressive, when to be defensive. So when there are high probabilities on your trades, you need to expose more of your portfolio in those trades, so more trades at the same time or higher leverage. And when there is a lower probability, just a tight leverage or one trade, etc. That's based on your trading tactics. And this is exactly what we are doing for you inside of Paradise Family VIP. This is exactly what we are doing for our Paradise Family VIP members. So right now, with the highest probability, we will return towards this descending trend line. If this descending trend line will hold, we will start breaking below the triangle, and the next target will be at around $3,000. This is from the daily time frame perspective, high time frame perspective, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a proper swing trading setup if we will get confirmations right here that this is really acting nicely. If we will get confirmations from other whales that they are being positioned for short positions, it's going to be a beautiful trade setup. So with the highest probability, if this descending trend line will hold, the basic idea is that we are gonna go to the downside, all right, towards this demand zone. But we need to wait for confirmations. As a professional trader, you need to be prepared always for all scenarios. So if you will start breaking above this descending trend line, we will wait for a proper reclaim. And if we will get it, if we will be able to get a nice breakout with a rise in volume and then a retest with a decline in volume, we will see that the bears are actually getting weaker, and we will start looking for long trading opportunities, because it will invalidate not only the Elliott wave pattern but also other market structures right now that are happening on the market. So bearish points for Ethereum on the daily time frame. Let's right now jump into Bitcoin Ethereum chart, because something here I want to share with you. You know that since January 2025 we have not been able on the euro pair to break above the previous high, unlike we have done it on Bitcoin USD pair, right? Here since January 2025 we have created a higher high, but on the Bitcoin euro pair we didn't, right? What's the reason for that? Well, in my opinion, the reason is that the Bitcoin actually didn't got too much stronger, all right? The dollar just got weaker, and we have a confirmation for that by analyzing the dollar index chart. You can see since January 2025 we have lost 12% of its value, all right? Dollar index is pretty much very weak, and right now I do believe that it might start changing. You already know, since here I have told you, I'm telling you about this chart for a very long time. So if you are subscribed in this channel, you know exactly about the dynamics in the current market. I was telling you that we have concluded the double three corrective mode wave pattern ABC right here. We are touching the demand zone, and with the highest probability we will see a correction to the upside. What does it mean? The dollar gonna get stronger, all right, with the highest probability. And if the dollar gonna get finally stronger, what does it mean for Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin, if on euro pair, which is pretty much stable currency at the moment, is not breaking above previous high since 2025, well, on the USD pair is probably gonna drop, right? So we are very careful on Bitcoin, all right, as well as on Ethereum. As you know already, we are not able to break above that $121,000 for multiple times, all right? On 2 times we have created a shooting star candlestick patterns right here and right here. Both are visible at price reversals, all right? For example, what happened in January 2025? A bearish shooting star candlestick pattern confirmed by bearish engulfing and then a 30% crash. If you have been around, if you have been in Paradise Family VIP, you know that we have been trading this and we have been making profit on this crash, right? And something similar we are right now working on at this time, all right? Because we believe there might be even a bigger crash. For a third time, we have not been able to break above $121,000, all right? We have got a break, but not a reclaim. Break is something, but that's usually a fake out. As a professional trader, you need to wait for a confirmations, confirmations, right? One of the confirmations is a proper reclaim that we can change the resistance into a support. So we need to start building on lower time frame some base. We didn't do it, and we have immediately start dropping back below this $121,000 zone of resistance. So right now, with the highest probability, you know from me, from these videos, that we are creating the ABC corrective mode wave pattern, and this is basically A, B, and C, and the C wave is a motive mode wave, and it might take us towards $44,000. It's a motive mode wave, that means it subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves. With the highest probability, we are right now in the first wave, alright, we are in the first wave, that will take us towards $88,000. Another weekly candle will be closing in 3 days, 9 hours. If it's going to be below the moving average trend line, it will increase the bearish probabilities. Let's right now take a look what's going on the daily time frame. As you can see, the price actions are right now volatile on the market, but the ideas are very clear. I've told you since here that Bitcoin will start pumping to the upside, and it's pumping, right? And we're gonna take the liquidity at $112,000. But then it will really depend on how the resistances will be acting, all right? So if we can hold below those resistances and we will not reclaim back the 0.61 Fibonacci retracement level, the major idea is that we are about to start dropping towards that $94,000 first. This is from the daily time frame perspective a nice key high time frame support zone. So if we are about to keep on holding below the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, and most importantly also we keep on creating lower highs, all right? I will share with you that on Bitcoin we are also creating the triangle. The main direction is to the downside, and here we will create the third wave, then a fourth wave, and then a fifth wave will take us towards $88,000. So it's pretty straightforward, right? Here will be fourth wave, it will change this into a resistance, and then a fifth wave. So something to be aware of if we will be able to hold below these resistances. If we will start reclaiming this resistance with ParadiseFamilyVIPs, we will just look to make money on long positions. But right now we are focusing on shorts on daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, you can pretty much see the triangle. I will break down the triangle on a 1-hour time frame. Let's check the main idea on 4-hour time frame. With the highest probability, we will retest this Fibonacci retracement level, this descending trend line. We need to create a lower high. If that's gonna happen, we are going down towards this $94,000, right? And then the price trajectory is pretty much straightforward. So a little bit up, take the liquidity, boom, third support right here, third wave, fourth wave, retest that, and then a fifth wave towards here. Let's take a look right now on 1-hour time frame. Here we have again the beautiful contracting symmetrical triangle. Somebody can call it symmetrical triangle. If you are an Elliott wave trader, you call it contracting triangle. But here we can pretty much see how beautiful the fourth wave is. 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth wave, and then we will have the fifth wave, which I will believe could be an extended one. It will take us towards $84,000 on that 1-hour time frame. So here we have created a A wave, all right, ABC, then a B wave, ABC. This was expanded flat. As you can see, C is a motive mode wave, then ABC, C wave, and D wave, and right now we are creating the A wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E, right? After we retest this $112,000, 786 Fibonacci retracement level right here, structural resistance and support, point of control, VPVR, very important level. If it's gonna hold, we are looking towards downside, all right? So ladies and gentlemen, Paradisers, smash the like button if you have enjoyed this video, all right? Definitely stay tuned because I will keep you updated about what's coming next on Saturday. So until then, take it easy and smooth, trade safe with a proper trading strategy, and I will see you again on Saturday. Cheers.